Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Demigodest YouTube channel. If you are new, please make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video from me. I want to actually use my Yeti microphone today because I want to get real personal with you guys. It's so crazy because how God or the universe will put you in certain situations that will let you know like where you stand. Hold on one second. Okay. um they will let you know where you stand, and you will learn. Okay, you guys can hear me. I gotta do sound check. Yeah. So this topic is pretty self-explanatory. It's called The Truth About Toxic Relationships and How to Heal. Okay, this video is meant for people that are currently going through a toxic situation, or you have already experienced a toxic situation, and just like how to heal from it. Well, first thing I want to say is healing is different for everybody. So there's no cooker cutty, no cooker cutty, no cutter. Oh my God. There is no cookie cutter toolkit to get you to heal. It's about what works for you, and as long as it's positive, then do that. You know what I'm saying? But the truth about toxic relationships, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but toxicity, it starts at a young age. You see it in some form of fashion. It really starts within your household. Your first examples of being in a relationship, it doesn't have to be necessarily a romantic one, but witnessing your parents, okay, or your parental figures. They are your first love in a certain extent. Mind you, I mean, obviously you're not asleep with them or anything. They teach you the examples of love. They are, what is a loving relationship, what is communication styles. This is where you develop your love languages. It really starts within the household. So you might hear this term, your inner child. You need to work on your inner child. That's going back to when you were a child and really healing those bits and pieces that your parents unfortunately weren't able to guide you on or give you a positive standpoint for. So that's something to be a little bit more mindful of. Yeah, so it stems within your childhood, and then you learn based off of habits in your environment, and that is how you eventually present yourself in relationships, rather it is a platonic or a romantic relationship. Okay, you learn all these different personalities, traits, all of these habits in your household as a child, and they develop. Okay, so you could either be in a nurturing environment, or you could be in an environment that is not conducive and is actually really unhealthy for you to be in. And unfortunately, you grow accustomed to those unhealthy behavior patterns or those really good positive behavior patterns. And that dictates how you show up in the world and how you build your relationships around, people that enter into your life, etc. So that's one of the things that you guys need to pay attention to and have a little bit more self awareness on. For the people that don't know like where to start, I would really sit down, write down, what are the things that you were raised upon that you as an adult right now do not want to continue to do. Okay, breaking unhealthy behavior patterns and habits, it takes time, it takes patience, but it also is uncomfortable. And there will be other emotions that come with that time as well. So be patient and be very gentle with yourself. Okay, so that is like the root of like how the toxic relationships with. And if you don't have anyone in your life that could hold you accountable and that could bring awareness on things that you do that is not conducive or isn't really darn right nice, you're not going to know that you're doing anything wrong. There's some people, I truly believe now in my grown age that not everyone is born with a good soul. I feel like some souls are on this earth that is not good. And I feel like the majority of us we're here on a blank slate and it's based upon our environment, but also taking that accountability when you're adult, when you realize there are things that you need to work on, that you actually put action towards them in a positive manner. Rather that's going to a life coach, going to a therapist, um, traveling, centering yourself, meditating, journaling, talking to a pastor, getting into religion, or developing your spiritual practice and beliefs and things like that. Finding something positive that works for you, but also make sure it is something that is measurable, so you're able to look back and see the progress and be able to see, okay, this is working for me or this is not working for me. Because sometimes, I'm going to be honest, not everyone is successful with therapy. Some people have to go to a life coach, or some people, they find themselves out in nature, and that's where they get downloads and messages from the universe on, like, hey, this is something I need to work on. Listen, if you guys are on my YouTube channel and you followed me on my social media platforms, you know that I'm an avid person of being in nature. I get so many messages from the universe about myself, being in that present moment, taking myself away from my phone and like the outer world, and really just being forced to be in the present moment and to be mindful of what's going on around me, but also what's going on internally with me. So, again, nature is like healing for me as well. So, you got to find what works for you, and it has to be healthy. That's the thing, because some people, they feel like, oh, I'm going to drink my pain away, or I'm going to smoke my pain away, or I'm going to sex my pain away, or whatever destructive things that you're into, that is going to help. All that does is put a band-aid on you. That's not something that is going to be healing for you. That's not something that's going to make you even be motivated to want to do better for yourself. So, again, it starts childhood, and then it starts with your accountability, what you want to work on, working on you, and that's going to exude out. Also, being honest with where you stand right now in your life. Where do you stand? Are you healthy enough to be in a healthy relationship? Because if you're not, you shouldn't even be entertaining. Get off of those dating apps. Stop giving your number out. Stop flirting with people. Focus on yourself and work on the things that you need to work on. So when you are ready to be in a relationship, you're not making the same mistake that you did in your past relationships. You're being a better person than your parents or your parental figures or even your peers, and you are ready to receive a love that is going to be nurturing for you. Okay, that is essential. And let's go ahead. I want to show some statistical stuff on toxic relationships. This is actually an article. You know me, I'm a little nerd. So this is from the National Library of Medicine. Okay, so this is toxic relationships, the experiences and effects of psychotherapy and romantic relationships. So this is a journal. I just want to see. I want to see the results. Okay. So there's a range. So typically when there's studies, psychological studies, you have like an age range of what you want to look for to determine different things. So they have a range 30 to 79, 60 mean, SD. Okay. All right. This is statistics. Okay. Oh my God. For physical violence, for physical assaults, 50 people out of this experienced that. For no physical abuse, one third, so 31%, no one experienced it. Emotional abuse, 98%. Deception and financial abuse, 80.7%, were commonly reported by victims, compared to spiritual and property theft, 39.6%, which correlated with sexual abuse by 0.111, and physical abuse. Wow. Okay, this isn't what I was looking for. Sorry. Um Let's read this article right here from Forbes. Toxic influence, an average of 80% of Americans. What the heck? I don't want to touch that. Have experienced emotional abuse. Wow, that is crazy. The nonprofit Mental Health America is highlighting eliminated toxic influences as part of their message for Mental Health Awareness Month. Emotional stress compromises our immunity and threatens our resilience as we cope with the world health crisis. Oh, this is from 2020. So, the cost of relationships, according to a survey by the American Psychological Association, 75% of Americans say their boss is the most stressful part of their day. Employees working for such a boss are likely to exhibit physical symptoms of stress, such as high blood pressure, and emotional symptoms, such as depression. Yikes. So, toxic friendships are too common as well. 80% of women and 75% of men report having a toxic friend at some point. I agree with that. Toxic traits consist of manipulation, making you feel bad about yourself, being judgmental. Hold on, I want to make sure that you guys can see that. Okay, being judgmental, negativity, passive aggression, and being self-centered. Okay. Yeah. So those are just some statistics for you guys. Now, I'm going to talk about healing. Healing, as I mentioned earlier, is different for everybody, and it takes time. Healing doesn't happen overnight. Some people are able to get over people and situations like the nick of a dime, and I question people like that. I'll be real wary of that, because if you don't take any time for self-reflection, I feel like you don't really grow as a person, and it's easy for you to get caught up in cycles, and you end up repeating the same things over and over again. And there is a beauty to self-reflection, because you learn about yourself and you apply your experiences and you learn from them. I'm going to give you an example off of a very toxic relationship that was very costly for me. I named off those things of, what are some toxic traits. This person I was with for 3.5 years. This was a very serious relationship. This person, um, yeah, I'm not gonna go into too detail because I don't want you guys to know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I gave up they were my world. And I didn't know they were a narcissist. They were way out of my league when it came to all of those toxic traits that I told you. And I found myself losing myself in that situation. And it took me several years to rebuild myself, build my self confidence up, my worth. Um, I didn't feel pretty for a long time. I didn't feel beautiful for a long time. And just like being able to get the groove back and being myself, it was to the point where I didn't even want to work. And anyone that knows me knows I'm a go-getter. I'm not lazy. I love to work. That's a piece of like my happiness is working and being able that I could contribute and bring something to the table. And when that was taken away from me, I knew that was a serious problem. And I went on a deep spiritual like journey, and I got involved in like Reiki and crystals and tarot cards, oracle cards, learning about, ancient Egypt and um Orishas and all of that, and really just trying to figure out my groove and really finding myself and falling in love with myself, and also just being very determined I wasn't going to get in a relationship with anyone, no serious relationship, because I needed to really heal myself. Although I was dating, and then eventually I ended up in a relationship, which probably shouldn't have, but yeah, it was about self discovery. And let me tell you something, this person drained me on all levels, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. And they're just very disrespectful, and it was an abusive situation. And there are things that um I'm not proud of that, were influenced, was brought forth due to being in that relationship. My part, I contributed in that relationship. And it took me a long, 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 long time. And I really hated that person. I can honestly say today, I don't hate that person. I don't like that person. That person is not a good person to me. And they may be a good person to other people, but to me, they were not a good person. And they're the villain in my story. And I'm pretty sure I'm the villain in their story as well. But one thing that I thought, as I mentioned to you guys, find something that's measurable, that's healthy for you guys, so you can really gauge what you're doing. Because as I mentioned, I went on a spiritual journey, and I even did therapy as well. I was working out, I was doing all kind of things, trying to figure out my groove, what was my like method to like get to a healthy space. And yesterday, it's so funny. Yesterday, I was on TikTok. Mind you, if you guys know me, my TikTok was deactivated for a year, my main TikTok page, because I do have another page, but I don't give that out to everyone. But I really wasn't even going on TikTok, even though on the second page. And I had reactivated. I think I've been on TikTok for maybe 2.5 weeks. And it's crazy because on the second page, that person that I'm talking about, their page came up on my TikTok. Like it says the suggested people. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nosy. I clicked on it because they had a public profile. I just wanted to see what they were doing and things like that. And I noticed this person, they look happy. They looked happy, and the person that they told me they were in love with when I was with this person, mind you, this person cheated on me and did inappropriate things all throughout this relationship. But I'm not going to sit here and say I was a saint either. I definitely did some things after they did things to me. Um, and the person that they said they was in love with, they've been in love with, they are in a relationship with, and I believe they're married to that person or engaged or whatever. And I didn't, honestly, looking at their page, I didn't feel any type of way. You know what the first reaction was? The first reaction was, wow, they're really happy. And I'm happy they're happy. Like they're in love. And I love love. And my thing is, I could like not like you, but that doesn't mean that I wish harm on you or ill on you. There's just a certain way you could have handled the situation, in our situation, our time that we shared. You didn't have to do things a certain way that was harmful to me, that really impacted me to a point where I really lost myself. I was really lost, really, really hurt. And I would never do anything like that person inflicted on me to someone else. And if I have, I apologize to anyone, but I don't think I have it, not even close. But definitely have been a villain to some people, and definitely a protector and savior to some people too, or just a good energy that people experience. But I was like, wow, I was like, I love love. Like they're supposed to be together, like, and honestly, I like surprised myself. I was like, I I think I'm really healed from this situation. Just being a person that is a lover, hopeless romantic and everything. And I was like, that is growth. That's measuring. So all the things that I've been doing to cultivate a healthy, like healing experience for myself, that paid off, because this person, oh my God, that situation, I'm not even telling you guys half of what happened. That really, 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 like, I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know who I was. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, okay, beautiful. Good luck. Like from a genuine place. And I'm happy. You found your person. But to be honest, just to throw in a little, I wouldn't say toxicity. I was just like, dang, I was like, they get to get the love of their life. Where's the love of my life? So I did have that. I did have a moment of that, and I allowed myself to experience those emotions. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And I'm not going to say anything is wrong with that. You got to experience those emotions. Those are emotions that I felt after that. I was like, wow, why is it always the person that does jacked up stuff to people, they have their happy ending and the good people get, screwed over. But it's like, I also corrected that negative thinking, and I was like, my time will come, and when it comes, it's going to be beautiful, and maybe it's going to be the most beautiful relationship I've ever been in. So that's something that I thought was good. And then I blocked them. I blocked them on both of my pages. Like, there's no, I don't like you, so I don't want to see your stuff. I wish you well, and I love that you're in love. And yeah, you have to protect your peace, and you have to um be mindful of what you consume, and I don't want to see you because you're not a person that I'm aligned with. So, goodbye. Happy for the update, but goodbye. So, yeah, that is how you do it. So first thing you need to do is ask yourself, what is your program on healing? What healthy tools can you put together that's going to be successful for you? And you're going to tweak some things around. Not everything is going to work the first time around. The thing is to be consistent and to have discipline and not give up on yourself and believe you're going to be better at the end of the day. So yeah, that's my advice for you guys and my little story time. So I hope you guys enjoyed that insight, and I will see you guys next time. I love you guys. Make sure you like the video, and I will see you soon, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Bye.